Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 1 of our gaming theory discussions. These are all theories sent in from fans like yourself. We select 5 of the best and put them in a single video to be voted on by you, all of our different guest hosts, and myself. A bonus for Patreon supporters of the channel. You will be guaranteed to have your theory featured on the show, and will be able to join as a guest on the weekly shows to discuss all of the theories. We will also be having our other friends in the Chamber of Sages such as Zeltic, HMK, Zelda Master, Dr. Wily, Commonwealth Realm, and other Zelda content creators like our friends Nintendo Black Crisis, Miss Click, Holly Wolf, Hylia, and Cece. Basically, we're getting everyone we know to be a guest at some point on this new Zelda Theory series. Whoever submits the winning theory will get an amiibo of their choice or a $20 Nintendo eShop card. Simply comment below which is your favorite theory, and if you have a favorite theory of your own, please comment it below. It doesn't matter if it's old or new, just be sure to explain it within 1 to 5 paragraphs. Sadly, we can't add your suggestion if you say, "I really like the Tetraforce theory." You need to explain what the theory is and why you like it. Our first theory comes from Vampy from Discord. One of her favorite Zelda theories is one in Wind Waker that says the rival pirate group that Tetra mentioned at the beginning of Wind Waker participated in infernal rites in order to summon Ganondorf in the surface, and then he turned them into monsters. The dark portal Ganondorf used to climb up leads to the Forsaken Fortress. Tetra mentions that the Forsaken Fortress used to be the lair of a group of pirates they used to compete with. So naturally, to crush competition, they seeked power and decided to rely on dark forces to achieve it. As they searched for potential dark forces to grant them power, they naturally came across the legend of the Sunken Hyrule and the great evil sealed down there. So they started some infernal rites to summon Ganon in the world above, creating the dark portal that Link can use in the Tower of Ganon that leads to the Forsaken Fortress. When the pirates succeed in bringing Ganondorf to the surface, they are turned into monsters, either willingly or not willingly. The fact is, Ganondorf's original monster army is left behind, frozen below the sea, and he had to form a new one. So naturally, making monsters out of his new followers was the most obvious choice. Well done, Vampy. This is actually the very first time that I have heard of this theory, and I really like it. But choosing the winner of this video is not up to me, it's up to everyone. Everyone watching, comment below, let us know what you think of this theory and the other theories. From JustX on Discord, which you can join, by the way, a link is in the description. JustX says, Zelda theory. Twin Rova comes from a coven of demise worshippers originally led by Girahim. For hundreds of years they conducted heinous rituals on the Gerudo Vi, so they not only may bear a Gerudo Vo, but curse the child to bear the hatred and power of their coven's demon king. Much like Link was Hylia's divinely chosen hero, Ganondorf was the coven's chosen demon king, but since Twin Rova was not divine, they relied on black magic and rituals that could only occur every 100 years under certain circumstances. This explains why Gerudo Vo only come around every 100 years and why Ganondorf was the last male to be born. He was the first successful Vo to accept the curse, and none came after him since Twin Rova fell early on in the timeline. This would be an interesting theory, but there are different Ganondorfs. We have the original Ganondorf from Ocarina of Time that went on to be featured in Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and other Zelda games, including Four Swords Adventures, where this same Ganondorf makes an appearance as Shadow Link. However, there are other male Gerudo born, one of which also happens to be called Ganondorf and is the main Ganondorf in Four Swords Adventures as well. So Four Swords Adventures has 2 Ganondorfs. So factually, this theory doesn't hold up quite well, but it's still interesting. A coven for the Demon King pre-Yiga is always a great idea. From Majora's Musk, also from Discord, I both like and hate the following theory for different reasons. The theory that the Shrine of Resurrection is guided by Hylia directly. If the Sheikah technology we see in Breath of the Wild was so advanced that you can evaporate a moblin with a single arrow, then it could be assumed that the Shrine of Resurrection can heal an injury a lot faster than 100 years. It could be that Hylia, or another force entirely, was keeping Link asleep so that he could wake up just when Hyrule needed him. Sounds like someone has met with a terrible fate. Owain Gallant, I hope I pronounced that right, from YouTube, has a theory about the Song of Storms paradox. They say, the Song of Storms paradox can easily be explained, like for example, say you went back in time and people mistook you for Alexander the Great, and you had to fight some of his battles. Since you had learned about it, you knew exactly what to do, so you play it out how it went in your history book. That means that the strategy you used is the one that had been in the history book the entire time. For those who don't know the Song of Storms paradox from Ocarina of Time and slightly Majora's Mask, you learn the Song of Storms as an adult from Guru Guru. He claims that some crazy kid taught it to him long ago and it basically ruined his entire life. So when you go back in time, you end up becoming the kid who taught him the song. The thing is, the timelines don't really work this way. Some people will go on to use Majora's Mask, where you learn the song during the Sharp and Flat side quest in the Icona section of Termina, and that is where the song originally came from. Link returns to Hyrule, somehow teaches the song to Guru Guru, then when you become an adult, Guru Guru teaches Link the song, and when you go back in time, you kind of rewrite history and teach Guru Guru the song. But the song originated from Termina. Sadly, that second explanation isn't quite how time travel works in Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, since anything learned in Majora's Mask would not at all affect the adult portion of the timeline in Ocarina of Time, because those would be two separate timelines. Basically the same way that nothing in Twilight Princess can affect anything that happens in Wind Waker. They are on two completely different sections of the timeline, and is why the Song of Storms paradox is again such a paradox. The longest theory on this list comes from Tornin Prince, and it concerns Breath of the Wild and Breath of the Wild 2. In Impa's cutscene of the war 10,000 years ago, she recalls how the legend have been made fuzzy over time, so the details have probably gotten mixed up. One thing that could last over time, if anything, wouldn't be the word of mouth, but rather the tapestry. And is the person who we thought was Link on the tapestry actually Ganondorf? We actually have a video covering this that we just uploaded about a week ago, covering the top 5 theories concerning Breath of the Wild 2, so go check that video out if you haven't already. Continuing on, they say it has long red hair and a pig-like nose, which Zelda does not. I think they mean Link. So maybe Ganondorf saved Hyrule from Calamity Ganon 10,000 years ago. We also see Ganondorf riding into battle in the Breath of the Wild 2 trailer with his trident and the Gerudo symbol. Of course, they were talking about the artwork shown on the wall of the cave. Impa also mentions how Hyrule was highly advanced and prosperous civilization. This would happen when all Triforce pieces are joined together, as explained by Zelda in Ocarina of Time. We know Calamity Ganon was formed when it gave up its human form, Ganondorf. What this means is that the bloodline would then be broken, and new male kings of the Gerudo could be born without containing the spirit of Ganon, Demise's curse. We know Ganon is pure evil, but the lines of Ganondorf have not always been so black and white. In Wind Waker, the ending cutscene and dialogue between Ganondorf and the King of Hyrule, we see a broken down, desperate king doing everything in his power to help his poor people and their desolate and harsh life in the Gerudo Desert. Could we not say the same of the Hylian people, as they flooded their whole civilization and probably killed tons of innocent people to save a few? Ganondorf isn't so different than the King of Hyrule. Maybe with the curse of demise, the malice of Ganon no longer corrupting him, Ganondorf was able to be a good king of the Gerudo. The text translation from the magic swirling of the hand covering Ganondorf chest translates to "Forgive me, God, seal Ganon." It feels more like a sacrifice rather than an execution, which points more towards Ganondorf being good rather than evil. The body isn't chained down in any way either, like the execution was in Twilight Princess. The singing in the trailer sounds like, "Oh my God, forgive me, God seal Ganon," again pointing to them not wanting to do this to Ganondorf. Maybe the whole kingdom of Hyrule fought valiantly to contain Ganon, but couldn't 10,000 years ago. And as a last-ditch effort, Ganondorf gives up his body so they could seal Ganon back into him. We know Hylia in Skyward Sword gives up her deity powers to be reborn as a Hylian, Zelda. So sealing Ganon into Ganondorf could suppress his power. Anyway, this could bring us to 100 years ago, when the Calamity lays waste to Hyrule. In present-day Breath of the Wild, we fight him and defeat him. Then maybe this Ganon malice returns back to Ganondorf, because Ganon doesn't have enough power to hold the form anymore, and it's the only way he can survive and regenerate his power. Link and Zelda set out to help Hyrule at the end of Breath of the Wild. I believe in the trailer we see them stumble upon these ruins just as the seal is starting to break again, so could be just a few years later. We see Ganon's malice consuming the room at the end of the trailer, meaning the seal has broken, and now Ganon has once again been separated from the body of Ganondorf. This wouldn't be the first time seals or bonds have broken in the Zelda series. The Imprisoned, Demise, seal was broken several times in Skyward Sword. Ganon has broken out of the Dark Realm, etc. I think Calamity Ganon will take a hold of another being in a similar fashion that Majora's mask took hold of the Skull Kid. Very great, very detailed, very well thought out theory there. Although personally, I'm not sure on all of the facts about the singing voices in the trailer or exactly what the text says, because I've heard very conflicting things from different people, even videos trying to disprove what the text says that other people have said. But if this is what the text says, this is a very good theory. Again, everyone watching, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And that is it. That is everyone's theory. Thank you for watching, everyone. Comment below what you think is the best theory. If you want to guarantee that your Zelda theory or Nintendo theory makes it onto this video series, all you have to do is become a Patreon supporter, and then you can even join as a guest on these videos to discuss everyone else's submitted Zelda theories. Thank you everyone for watching, and we will have the winner of this video in our next video, after we've added up all of the votes.
Hey everyone, it's me again, Hylia Rose. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching this video. And you know what? If you're a fan of videos like this, you should totally subscribe and give this video a like, and comment below to let us know what type of videos you would like to see us create in the future. And if you would really like to support all of us here at the GameOverJesse channel, please consider purchasing a GameOverJesse t-shirt or becoming a Patreon at patreon.com/GameOverJesse, where you can receive many rewards, such as getting shoutouts, having any topic or theory that you select discussed on the podcast or made into its own video, having your question answered, joining on as a guest on the podcast, and playing with us during our Twitch live streams at twitch.tv/GameOverJesse, and much, much more.